Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Redikall series. Today we're going to talk about self-love, and it's a very common and something that we all know conceptually, but very few of us are actually able to imbibe it. Thank you everyone. So let me start by sharing that most of us, if we look back in our lives, have been doing a lot of things which are beyond our comfort zone, which have somewhere you've extended yourself, gone beyond your boundaries, sacrificed a lot, done things to help people, please people, be a good girl, be a good boy. And what was the real reason was so that you could feel love and acceptance from especially people who are close to you, right? And you did everything beyond your comfort zone, and still somewhere you don't feel that people still love you like that or people accept you for who you are. Like, I know this very common question that comes to me, and I'm sure you've also heard it. Like, we have students telling us that we've done everything, we've sacrificed everything, cared for our family, cared for our children, cared for our partners, done everything for our friends, sacrificed sometimes our own selves, and yet they don't love us. Yet we don't feel that love. Yet we feel that people don't accept us for the way we are. And they ask with that helplessness that what do we do? And what else do we do so that we can feel that love from people? Some of us also feel that when we achieve things, we achieve maybe a good job, a great lot of money, abundance, success, trophies. That's when people around us will love us and accept us. I remember as a child, I used to always get marks and try and top in school only so that I would think that my parents would love me much more than they do love me. But somewhere you're 10 years old or 20 or 30, you feel that in spite of even those achievements, a lot of you still feel that you've still not got that love and acceptance. Right? So, where is the missing link, or what is the missing link? Something needs to be shifted in our space, something needs to be relooked, and something needs to be changed. Because somewhere the old ways have not been working for us. Do you agree with that? So, what is it that we are missing to see? So, I'm going to tell you a step by step, detailed understanding of what is missing. So, as I've always shared in my webinars, that the outside environment or the outer environment is a reflection of your inner being. So everything you see outside is either your projection, it's your manifestation, and it's your extension. Simply put, the world is your mirror. It's like when you stand in front of the mirror, what do you see? You see yourself, right? You don't see anybody else, so you see yourself. So when I say that the world is a mirror, I mean that whatever you are, somewhere you see that through people, through your close relationships, through your experiences you go through. So whatever you see in your outer space is also telling you about yourself with that logic. Right, so it's reflecting your experiences, the reactions of people, everything somewhere is reflecting parts of you. So if you feel or you perceive that people do not love you, and you actually also feel that unloved feeling. So what does that really mean? That somewhere you are not loving parts of your own being, parts of your own personality. It could be of emotions, it could be your attributes, it could be your physical body, it could be anything. So somewhere you are not loving and accepting parts of your own self. And what you do to yourself is exactly what people are doing to you. So in Redikall, there is this concept and understanding that you don't get treated by the way you treat people. You are treated in the exact manner in which you treat yourself. Because it's the whole funda of the mirror. So if you love yourself and if you love every bit of you, even people are going to love you and treat you in the same way. So it's not something that you need to blame yourself that you don't love yourself or there are parts of you that you reject, because somewhere it's not something that we consciously have done, but as we have been growing up, we have been systematically taught actually to reject yourself. Like, I'll give you examples. When you were born, when we are babies love themselves. They love who they are. They love how they are. And then as you're growing big, through sometimes the kind of background we come from, sometimes our parents or teachers or other kinds of education systems teach us systematically to reject certain parts of us. And it is not to blame even them, because even they have systematically learned the same thing. Like, I'll give you an example with every aspect of your being. Like, let's talk about the physical attribute. So maybe you were a little healthier in your childhood, and your mother was always worried about you and kept saying that, you need to be thin, because somewhere there could be a belief system that thin is more acceptable. So what happens is you start rejecting that part of you or that physical attribute of yours which is not filling in that cliche manner of being acceptable and thin. And so you reject that part of you. Or you could reject so many parts of your being, whether it is to do with your color, your features, because it is not necessarily the accepted norm as the way the society sometimes has portrayed. It could be to do with your emotions. So if you were ever jealous of your sibling, your cousin, you were told systematically and categorically that you cannot be jealous, because jealousy is not a good virtue. And a good person can never be jealous. Even as adults, especially a lot of people I know in the spiritual journey, they do not even acknowledge that they're jealous, because how can a spiritual person be jealous? So you learn to reject that part of you again. Then we talk about your personalities. There could be a personality that you are an upfront person and you like to express things as it is. But in some families, it is not accepted to be like that. And maybe it is a belief that it is not courteous or it is not being polite, and you will be socially rejected if you're upfront and you express yourself. So you learn to reject and suppress that part of you. So if you all look back today, so systematically somewhere, because of our conditioning, because of our beliefs, there's so many parts of us that we reject that maybe few of us are left with such a little part that we actually love. And then we complain that people don't love us. And we have done everything and nothing seems to change. There is another very strong belief that I know of friends and students who have been also somewhat conditioned that it's important to always sacrifice. And being selfless is equivalent to being selfish. So we are taught not to really put ourselves first or prioritize ourselves or love ourselves, because we've been taught to always be selfless and only to care first for the other person. Another reason why we don't love ourselves is because we have this strong association in our subconscious folder of growing personally, professionally, or spiritually by this unloved feeling, or not good enough feeling, or not okay feeling. So when you don't feel okay, maybe when you were growing up, you worked harder and you did much better in your life, or when you felt unloved, you did do a lot of things, whether in terms of achievements, so that people could love you. So because you have a strong association of growth with unloved feeling, or not loving yourself, or not being okay, or not being good enough, that then it's very difficult for you to actually be okay about yourself, approve of yourself, and love yourself. Another reason is guilt and regret. So if somewhere we at the subconscious level have a guilt or regret of not loving people in the past, then as a way to punish yourself, you do not allow yourself to fully love yourself, embrace yourself, and accept yourself. So somewhere we need to understand that if you want people to love you, it cannot happen the other way. You cannot keep working hard externally, do things, achieve things, go out of your way, sacrifice, continuously be in that long lasting chase of trying to do things so that people are going to love you. Because you've been doing that for very long and you still feel stuck in that position and that space. So today, let's truly not just understand this conceptually. We all know self-love is very important, but please understand that when you truly begin to love every bit of you, you approve every bit of you, whether it is the darkness within you, it is the light within you, it is the good within you, it is the bad within you. It's important to learn to approve of it. You cannot transcend anything if you keep resisting and rejecting it. It's like if a space has darkness, if you keep fighting the darkness, it's never going to go away. You accept that there is darkness. And then you try and put the light on. And then focus on the light is different. Because anything you keep resisting and rejecting is always going to be there and very strongly in your space. So the more you reject every bit of you, it does not only remain, but it also gets magnified and projected out into the environment, and even people reject aspects of you. And sometimes you wonder, why did my boyfriend leave me? Why did my spouse leave me? We keep wondering, why don't people accept us? You've never wondered, why are you not accepting yourself for the way you are? Somewhere we do not, in spite of all our spiritual awareness also with a lot of people, we don't realize that, or we don't acknowledge that we all have been gifted with unique attributes. We have our own unique qualities. So today I'm going to tell you very few and very powerful ways of how to work with self-love, because it is not a day's work, but it is a process, and only if you begin one day will you achieve something. So the first is, like I was telling you, make a note today. First ask yourself, out of 100, how much do you love yourself? An honest question to yourself, how much do you actually love yourself and approve of yourself? And make a list of every aspect or every emotion or your physical attribute, part of your personality. It could be anything. It could be your fear, it could be your jealousy, it could be your insecurity, it could be your doubts, it could be your low self-confidence, anything, not good enough feeling. Make a list of everything and use the 5 magic words for each of them to be able to first neutralize and accept it. So say I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition my jealousy. So you can R5 every part of your personality, your emotion, your physical attribute that you are not approving. I R5 my body. I R5 my weight. Because what you do when you say R5 is you recognize, you're finally recognizing those parts of you that you have been rejecting for so long. And when you recognize them, they lose power. They kind of lose power. And you can then transcend them. The second is to, at a deeper level, to understand what are your unique qualities. What are you blessed with? What are you? It's like all of us have come here with unique qualities. And we have a unique path. So to understand that and then R5 even those, because then somewhere we start magnifying and reflecting that onto and projecting that onto the environment. So I might have a unique quality of bringing people together. Somebody might be having a unique quality of leadership. Somebody might have a unique quality of being a system provider to a large organization. It could be anything. So it's only when you focus on your unique qualities and keep projecting that, you start making headway into this journey. And then you work with your guilts. So you R5 your guilts and regrets of not loving people in the past. And you can also work with your association of not loving yourself with growth, your association of not good enough feeling with growth or not being okay with growth. So all that you need to do is, I R5 my association of growth with not okay feeling. I R5 my association of growth with not good enough feeling. So these are the layers at which you can work with to finally begin self-love. And why is this very essential? Because somewhere we do a lot of things in our life. And why do we do that? If we keep probing, finally it is so that we get love and acceptance and we feel happy. It's like, why do you want a good job? So that I can earn a lot of money. What will you do with a lot of money? I will provide comfort to my house and my family members and make them live in a great big house. And then what will happen? And then I will feel happy. So ask yourself, sometimes even after you've achieved, did you still feel happy? Or do you still feel that bliss? So it's not that I'm saying it's not important to, it's everybody works hard, does well in life. It depends on which space are you trying to create that. So if you're looking for happiness, you don't have to wait for so long. Happiness comes very easy when you learn to love yourself, when you learn to love every attribute of yourself, you learn to approve everything. You learn to approve your unique qualities. You learn to approve the unique learning and the karmic gifts you're born with. So all of us have been born with a predetermined highway, and there's a lane that is given to us. And when we walk and move on that lane or that highway, life is beautiful. It's like we all have a unique blueprint. And in Redikall, we can all help you find that unique blueprint. And when you love that unique blueprint or you love being on that highway, and you approve of it, life is very blissful. Instead of trying to go into the other person's lane or highway and trying to always think that maybe the other person is better and rejecting your lane and rejecting your unique blueprint. Because then all that it creates is only disharmony, accidents, and suffering. And that is all that we are going through in life today. So the easiest is to love yourself, to approve yourself, to approve your blueprint, to approve the plan that you're born with. Because when you do that and you approve everything about you, you will approve everything about the other person in front of you also. Because interestingly, when you are rejecting something about somebody, you are basically just rejecting that part of you. Or it's like, I'll give an example. So if something is irritating you about someone, you don't have to bother looking at that person. Just look within. It is somewhere the same part that you have been rejecting in you. So when you accept everything about yourself, it's very easy to love and accept people in your space, at your workplace, at home, at your social gatherings. So the key to everything eventually is truly self-love. And don't please take this as a conceptual thought, but let us begin today to look inward, to cherish ourselves, be non-judgmental, non-critical, unconditionally embrace yourself and embrace every aspect of your being. So today I'm going to share some very simple but very powerful statements that can help you walk this journey of self-love. So if you can settle into a peaceful place, and please repeat this with me today. So you can close your eyes. And repeat with me. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition my self-love. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition my self-love. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition my soul's love, my self-love. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition my self-love. Today I'm also going to introduce you to a new beautiful channel statement which will help you very powerfully with loving yourself, and that is soul's love. So repeat with me and see the magic unfold. My love for myself is my soul's love. 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 My love for my being is my soul's love. My love for my being is my soul's love. My love for my being is my soul's love. My love for my being is my soul's love. I see my love for myself. I feel my love for myself. I acknowledge the love for myself. I love and accept the love for myself. I honor the love for myself. I honor the brilliance in the love for myself. I am my self love, and my self love is me. I see my love for myself. I feel the love for myself. I acknowledge the love for myself. I love and accept the love for myself. I honor the love for myself. I honor the brilliance in the love for myself. I am my self love, and my self love is me. When you're comfortable, you can open your eyes. So let us begin today with loving ourselves and letting the love flow through us and reach out to everyone and be a beautiful channel of love. And that's what will finally change your outer experience, your outer reality of abundance and joy and prosperity.